What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Getting into this episode of GH. Actually, before I get into this episode of GH, let me just say this, because I seen some stuff on social media that kind of pissed me off. How supposed fans of the show were attacking some of the actors of GH. It's namely Scarlett, the little girl who plays Charlotte Cassadine. I was totally disgusted by that. Like, people coming for her on social media, whatever, saying, oh, they, hate her, or, because of the character that she plays. What people need to understand is these are characters. Like, we can talk all the shit we want about characters, but the one thing that I never do, and I think other people should not do, is take that to the actors who portray them. You know what I'm saying? You could talk all the junk you want about the characters, but leave the actors out of it. You know what I mean? Also, not only that, but these are kids. You know what I mean? Like, to sit there and go on social media talking junk to a child, like, who's just portraying a character, making her money. You know what I mean? Like, that's how low can you be? Like, seriously, people take things way too seriously. It's a show. These are characters. Like I said, yeah, you get invested in the show or whatever, which is fine, but don't take that out on actors. They're just doing their jobs, and a damn good job, I might add. Because like I said, this is a hard job for them to do. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know how many hours they put into this. Like, they film multiple episodes in just one day. Hours of work. A lot of dialogue, a lot of rewrites that they have to learn. Like, it's a lot that goes into doing daytime television, doing acting, period. But daytime is one of the hardest things to do because it's real quick. They got to learn those lines. They have to learn everything, and they have to do it really fast. And they don't get a lot of second chances to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you get a rehearsal, and then you got to film. And, you get one go at it. So it's hard for them. So, people, I think, should appreciate their craft a hell of a lot more instead of going on social media whining about a character that they play. Like, if you want to talk junk about the characters, that's fine. But don't bring it to the actors because it's not fair. You know what I mean? Like, especially kid actors. They're just doing a job. So, anyway, moving on from that. So, getting into this episode of GH, Neil looked terrible with the beard and all that. He just looked like he going through. He does. Like, he just looks horrible. So, apparently, I guess his license was revoked because of that little situation with Alexis or whatever and Julian at the hospital. So, I'm guessing his license was revoked or whatever. So, Alexis is all giddy or whatever, talking about, oh, now we could be seen in public and be a couple, and she basically also trying to tell him that he could fight it or whatever, because she hasn't heard from the bar yet, the New York bar. So she's basically telling him, like, he could still fight it and they could be together. Alexis, now's not the time to be all giddy about y'all being seen together. That's that man's career. Like, you remember how Alexis was when she temporarily lost her law license for a time because of that mess with Julian and Carlos and all that? Alexis was all over the place because her law career is who Alexis Davis is. That's her identity. You know what I'm saying? She's Alexis Davis, attorney at law. That's her whole identity. And without her law career, what is Alexis supposed to do? Same can be said about Neil. Like, him being a therapist is his identity. That's who he is. That's what he's been doing. That's his career. He fought and worked his ass off to get that career and to build it up the way that he did, and now he's pretty much lost it at this point. Yeah, he can still appeal it, he can still fight it, but I just don't see great things on the horizon for Neil and Alexis, because even though Neil at the time, he didn't want to lie to the board, she basically had to lie for him and convince him to go along with the lie, but he didn't want to do that. But he was pretty much, he admitted to Alexis, like, he's mad at not only himself, he's mad at her too, like, he's mad at both of them. You know what I mean? I have a feeling like even temporarily he might be happy with Alexis, but I feel like in the long run, without his career, he's going to be miserable with her and he's going to resent her for it. Because you know how some people do. They want, even though it's partly his fault too, but he might try to throw the full blame on her. Especially her, Julian, for that outburst at the hospital. You just never know. So hopefully it doesn't come down to that, but I can definitely feel like there's going to be some resentment in the near future between the two of them. And that's not good. I do like her with him, but not at the price of y'all careers that y'all worked hard for. You know how hard it is to get a medical license and a law degree? You know what I mean? Like, that's some hard stuff to do. And Alexis and Neil both worked their asses off of their careers. You know, now ain't the time to be losing it over some nonsense. You know? Like, I would just be disgusted by that. Like, I would be pissed. Because, I'm sorry, but for me, I would have to choose my career over a relationship. Like, seriously, like, and it's not even about the money, because we all know Alexis and Neil both make great money in their careers. We all know that. But it's not all about the money. It's just the fact that that's who you are. Like, your career a lot of times identifies you. You know, it's your identity. Like, you worked hard for that career. And you don't want to lose it over nonsense. Like, you don't want to lose it, period. You know, because that's when that anger and that resentment starts to creep in. Because what else are you supposed to do? I mean, you would have to learn a whole new start all, you know, from scratch. Start from the beginning. Who wants to do that? Especially when you've devoted all them years to your craft. Like, no. I would be pissed. I'm sorry, but I would have to choose my you know, my status, my career over a relationship if it comes down to it. Like, if I had to pick and choose, that's what I'm choosing. Unless, you know, I don't want it no more. You know what I mean? If I don't want the career no more, then it'll be easy for me to choose a relationship. But if I still want my career and that's what I still love doing, you got to go. My career come first. Like, it's just, hey, you just got to get the boot. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's just what it is. Hopefully they can work that out quickly. Hopefully. So anyway, moving on from that. Do you not know how, and I said all of this on Twitter, you not know how shocked I was and confused when I saw Sonny walk into that living room and walk out on that patio. I had to do a double take real quick because I'm like, I had to look. I said, Sonny and Carly bought a new house. I had to look. I was like, who freaking house he in? And then I look and I'm looking around like, they remodeled the Corinthos house? I was like, oh shit. I like it. Listen, I know a lot of people on Twitter were saying that they wasn't really feeling it. I freaking like it. Listen, I think just like the Quartermain remodel, I think it's an acquired taste. Like, it's something that you're just going to have to get used to. Like, you know what I mean? But I like that they're trying to modernize these sets and stuff, like, and update them and all that. I mean, I'm going to miss the old Corinthos set, but damn, that looked nice though. I mean, if you got a mob boss who's making millions of dollars, you got to live like you making millions of dollars. Like, you got to have fancy, you know, you got to be fancy. And that new living room looks fancy. Like, I like it. It's going to take some getting used to when I see them walk up in there, but I like it. I don't know how I feel about that staircase yet. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about that stair, though. I don't know. I like the long stairs that come down, but it just looks so old, the old set. So I'm glad they updated, but I'm going to miss it. Like, I'm definitely going to miss it. I am. But Sonny continues to be in denial about his dad. Like, you know, and I get it. Sonny, he's just trying to do the best he can for his father. But Sonny just needs to let go at this point. Like, I know it's going to be hard for him because him and his dad missed out on a lot of years together. So I know it's going to be tough. But he needs to let go. Clearly, it's what Mike wants right now. Because Mike has told him before, like, I don't want to do this no more. When somebody say, it reminds me of Days of Our Lives, before the Stefano D'Amira character died. It was a scene where Stefano was in his wheelchair talking to Andre, and he basically just told Andre, I'm tired. He was like, you know, I'm tired. And when Stefano said that, and he said, I'm tired, I don't want to do this. When Stefano said that, that's how you knew Stefano just was done. He was done with all the shenanigans. He knew time was up. He was through. And that was a sad episode for me because no Stefano D'Amira. Like, I've been watching Days for years, man. I miss Stefano. The late, great Joe Mascalo. I miss him so much. Now, you talk about a polarizing, larger-than-life character. My goodness. Man, guys like him and Jock Ewan, Asa Buchanan, J.R. Ewan, man, guys like them, they made daytime and primetime soaps what they are. Like, you know, Adam Chandler, David Hayward, they were just larger than life characters. Like, you just love to hate sometime. Victor Newman, you know, just villains, anti-villains, like those type of guys, like they were just cool. So yeah, Mike is definitely just tired at this point. He's done. Like he just wants to throw in the towel at this point. But Sonny just does not want to let go. And I'm glad Liz was telling Sonny yesterday about the DNR. Like Mike needs a DNR. And Jason was reaffirming to Sonny. He was like, you should listen to Liz. She's a great nurse. I mean, Sonny's going to always be in denial, but I feel like at least he has that support system. You got Liz, she's still, she's supportive of him, even though we don't get a lot of, really any Liz Sonny scenes, because that's the first scene I seen Liz and Sonny in a long time together. But, he got the support of a lot of people, Jason, Carly, Brooklyn. It's great to have that support system. People around you, Stella, people around you, who can educate you on this, talk to you about it, And I think Sonny's going to have to make some hard medical decisions for his father very, very soon, sooner than he would like to. It's just going to come down to that. And of course, Carly had to let him know about Cyrus and stuff, how Cyrus was at the Metro Court being interviewed by Lulu. I mean, Sonny, I'm surprised he hasn't had a mental breakdown by now. Like, he's just dealing with a lot. They just had a new baby. They remodeled the damn house. He dealing with Mike. Now he got this Cyrus problem. It's just a lot of change, a lot of things, good and bad, coming at him all at once. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot to mentally digest. So I wouldn't blame Sonny if he just needed a mental break. Like, mental health is so important. Like, especially with his bipolar. Like, he really needs to just take a day off from everything and everybody. Sometimes you just have to disconnect yourself. And I think that's what Sonny needs to do at this point. I mean, sometimes, you just got to disconnect yourself. And I think that maybe it's time he did that. So anyway, moving on from that. Jordan is still trying to figure out how to get herself out this mess. Part of her wants to just go to the feds, tell them the truth. And of course, Curtis is like, no. Curtis is like, hell no. I mean, at this point, what options do Jordan have? It's sooner or later, Mac, he's probably going to figure out what the hell is going on sooner or later. And that's what she don't want happening. She really don't want TJ to remember nothing. At first, she talking about she don't want him remembering anything. Then she talking about what if he does remember. And, she doesn't want anything linking his kidnapping to Cyrus. Because then all hell is going to break loose for her. And she just feels like at this point, what can she do? I'm like, there's really nothing you can do but sit back and let this play out, I guess. I mean, what other options do you have? I mean, you're backed into a corner at this point. Like, Jordan is in a hell of a pickle at this moment. And I understand, Curtis doesn't want her to go to prison because he feels like it wouldn't be right, for her to go to prison, but Cyrus gets to still walk around. Maybe so, but I mean, the more she keeps trying to cover this up and hide it, we already know the truth is bound to come out at some point. So you might as well just go ahead and, let the chips fall where they may. I'm not saying she should go confess. But, running around trying to clean up this mess even more, you're just going to make more mess as you're cleaning. So it's like, why keep trying? Why keep trying? Sit back and, thank God that your son is alive. He's back, and do what you got to do. Wait this out. Let the chips fall where they may. At this point, that's all you can do until you can figure out what type of leverage you can get over Cyrus. Until then, you got to sit on it. What other option do you got? So, Mac was basically questioning TJ about what he remembers, and TJ was just telling him, like, he doesn't really remember too much, just, the van ride. The van was taking a bunch of left turns, then they stopped. They chloroformed him. He woke up in a basement. All he remembers is a bunch of smells and sounds. That's all he can remember right now. So he's, back at work and stuff like that, I guess, on crutches. Molly stopped by and stuff, to see if he was still good or whatever, to be back at work because she felt like it's too soon. It was good to see Felix, talking to him. I feel like they definitely need to do something with Felix at this point because I want to see him on more. Hopefully him and Lucas can rekindle that old flame. TJ, him and Molly still talking about this whole domestic partnership. I mean, in relationships, you gotta do what works for you. But for me, I feel like in the long run, I don't know how happy TJ is going to be with that domestic partnership because he was really dead set on marriage. So he might be doing this just to appease Molly or doing it for the moment. But I don't know long term how he's going to continue on with that domestic crap. Like, it just doesn't seem like his style. I don't know. So Molly saw Brando talking to Christina and Sam, and when they were at Charlie, she was out the window, outside or whatever, looking through the window. Molly is acting very paranoid at this point. Like, when Brando came out, she was like, oh, what were you talking to my sisters about? Like, why are you acting so paranoid? Like, you really think he was going to snitch to them that he slept with you? First of all, he was talking to them because they are connected to the Corinthoses, who happens to be his family, allegedly. And he is related to Christina, allegedly. I say allegedly because we don't really know if Brando's really, really, really related to them or not. Like, we don't know all that much about Brando. So I say allegedly. Speaking of Brando, where the hell is Dev? Like, what broom closet are they hiding him in? I ain't seen Dev in God knows how long. So yeah, they were sitting there talking or whatever. Molly might as well just go on ahead and tell TJ. Because we know that secret is going to come out. So she might as well just go ahead and tell TJ the whole story about why she slept with Brando. Maybe TJ will be forgiven. Maybe he'll understand. Maybe. That's a big maybe. Who knows? It's like, but the longer you keep the secret and try to bury the dirt, it's going to come up. It's going to come to the surface. So you might as well just get ahead of it and tell TJ the truth. But we all know in daytime that's too easy. They're not going to do that. So that little domestic partnership might not last that much longer. So yeah, Brando was sitting there talking about, the Colt situation and DOD. And of course, Christina was not too pleased because she obviously didn't want to talk about it. But, Christina's happy in her life right now. She feels like for the moment, her life is finally drama free. No relationship issues, no Colt issues, no nothing. Everything is just good with her. She finally got a raise out of Julian. Work has been good for her, so she's happy with a drama-free lifestyle, which is good. Sam, I don't care. Not really going to talk about her because I really don't give a damn. Jason walking around piers and stuff looking all sad or whatnot, thinking about his little beloved, which I don't care about that either. Cry me a river, boo-hoo. So now we get to the nitty-gritty. Lulu. So Lulu decides... I'm sorry, but I just gotta roll my eyes every time I think about Lulu. Like, she just worked my nerves. So she decides to do an interview for that rag magazine, the Invader. I was about to call it Life Invader. But she decided to do an interview of Cyrus. And why, I don't know. I guess for his wrongful conviction, I guess. Asking him all these questions about what he do for a living. He was like, I'm an investor. She said, an investor in what? He said, I have many interests. Lulu, why are you interviewing this man? This is the same man that sent some goons to shoot up your family and one of the goons shot your mama. Why are you interviewing him? And then when Laura showed up, Lulu sitting there talking about, oh, hey, mom. What the hell you mean, hi, mom? He didn't need to know that was your mother? Because obviously he didn't do his homework on Laura because he didn't know that Lulu was Laura's daughter. I'm like, Lulu, you shouldn't have said that. He probably would have eventually found out maybe, but still. You basically are putting a target on your back by revealing who you are. Like, you shouldn't have done that. I'm just saying, you just opened Pandora's box. And, Laura had to get Cyrus together. Like, she was just letting him know, oh, you didn't know that was my daughter? She was like, oh, I see you didn't do your research. She was like, because I definitely did my research on you. I know all about you. I love Laura because Laura is so fierce. And I love her being the mayor because she's even more badass. And I love it. I do want to see more of Laura in her office, though, her mayoral office. And I do want to see more of her and Kevin together in their home because we haven't seen their home in quite some time. I just feel like there's a lot of characters that they need to showcase a little bit more. Like, they really, really do. And Cyrus was sitting there talking about that he wanted to that he may have to fund make a donation to Laura's re-election campaign. I was like, okay. Cyrus, I'm loving it. I'm loving his character right now. He's causing all type of drama, and I live for it. But anyway, this was a pretty solid episode. I liked it. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Let me know what y'all thought about the new remodel of the Corinthos house. Like, let me know what y'all thought. Hit the comment section. I will see y'all all later. Have a great weekend. I'll see you all Monday. Peace.